right now. Welcome to episode number 7. Welcome to the studio, Mr. Brad. We're back with the Out of Bounds podcast, first episode since the college football preview show. Ready to talk about plenty of sports today, a lot on the agenda.
Yep, we got the college football recap. We're gonna go over like our records, our picks, and then kind of just like an overall what happened. We got some U.S. Open talk as that's starting today. We got NBA, some injuries, some trades going on, and then I think we're gonna briefly touch on like MLB
Probably.
as well.
Yeah. I would like to start off this stream, the episode, with apologizing to a lot of people out there. There's a lot of, so to say, Big Ten fans, Nebraska and Northwestern fans that I may have upset in with my words in previous episodes. And to those people, I apologize because you had a phenomenal game this past Saturday. It was a higher scoring game than I ever thought I'd see in the Big Ten. It felt like a Big 12 game, and for that, I applaud you. That's my and also apologies to the Commodores for just everything.
Yeah, I owe
Congratulations.
them an apology too. I picked Hawaii. Let's just say it wasn't very close. What was it, 63-10?
Yeah, 63-10.
Vanderbilt. Until we play y'all, I will not slander your name no more. I won't.
Yeah, imagine. I mean, there's missing picks, and then there's missing picks by 53 points.
Yeah, like it's not the fact that I missed it. It's how bad it was. Like because I was like, oh yeah, I'll pick an upset. Hawaii at home.
Mike Wright, he put on
I
a show.
I didn't realize how much Vanderbilt, had improved.
Improved.
So
So I'm gonna start off with a question. Has a college football program ever left their head coach in another country? Because I believe Nebraska should have.
uh,
Because
that was something I realized whenever I went back and like rewatched the episode. You asked me was Northwestern at home, and I said yeah. I totally forgot they were in Ireland. Totally.
yes, I did not think about that either. But I was reading something to you Nebraska football fans. Bo Pelini, the guy they fired for Scott Frost, he had 27 losses at Nebraska whenever he was fired in total. Scott Frost in his first I don't know how many seasons it's been has already lost 30 games. The time is over. He's not turning anything around. He's done. And whether they can face that fact and move on, the quicker they do that, the better off they'll be, I feel like.
I mean, look, here's my thoughts. Nebraska. I don't know the last time Nebraska has won more than like 7 or 8 games in a year. Um, they had a span, if I'm not mistaken, they had Adrian Martinez before Casey Thompson, right? And I
Yeah.
thought he was decent. Like,
He's
yeah,
at Kansas State now.
is he? I had no idea. But there was moments where it was like this guy he can like run the offense pretty well. So I don't think it's I agree with you. I don't think it's like a personnel issue. They have really good talent over there. At least offensively. Defensively, they didn't show me much.
Go
Um,
ahead and tell them what you've told me about how you feel about Nebraska's defense,
what did I say about the defense?
about their pass and rush defense would finish in the what?
The bottom, the worst in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still stand by that. I mean, like, here's my thoughts. Northwestern might be the like second or third worst team. I don't know. Let me rephrase that. I don't want to slander Northwestern because they won. They won. I don't know if they beat Nebraska really or if Nebraska beat themselves, but they won. Um, but what I'm getting at here is Nebraska, they have the talent. I think it is definitely a coaching, like being prepared almost type issue. Casey Thompson was amazing the first 3 quarters.
And that's been the problem for Nebraska. I've been on Nebraska Twitter for the past few days. Their slander was the fourth quarter games. Adrian Martinez was amazing for 3 quarters every game, but they couldn't finish games. And it doesn't look like an Adrian Martinez problem. It doesn't look like a Casey Thompson problem. It looks like a Scott Frost problem. And I think the answer lies within the program. And I think Whipple needs to be the next head coach. He's insanely offensively talented. He had, I mean, look at what he did at Pittsburgh last year as the OC. He hires an amazing DC, fire the one they got now. I don't know how long he's been there, but let's get rid of him. Let's just go ahead and restart, revamp this thing. Let's hire a great DC and let him be the OC. Hire an OC like a quarterback's coach, but Whipple be the OC. I mean, I think you saw what he did with the offense. That offense was not Nebraska's 2021 offense. That offense was Pittsburgh's 2021 offense, and it looked really good for a while.
A lot of Trey Palmer, short routes, just give the ball to him, let him work, because a ton of talk about him, like preseason, I guess, about like how he's like one of the more talented athletes in college football. Coming from LSU, he didn't really like prove much, which is part of LSU, him being young, and then part of LSU just always having like a good receiving core to an extent. Also, we're not going to talk about their coaching issues.
Yeah, they had their own issues.
But yeah, so I liked how the offense looked. Obviously, we know Pitt last year, one of the best offensive teams in college football. Not even really close.
Not close.
So I think I want to give them time, though, because it is only week 0. I don't want to like overthink it too much. It is concerning, though.
It is. And watching College Game Day, they said this feels like a must-win for Nebraska, for the program. And it felt like for a while that I thought they were going to pull away with. They were so close. They got up 28-17. I said, okay, here they're fitting to finish this game off. I walk in the kitchen, I come back out, it's 28-24. It's like their defense would get it. They'd get a 4th and 5, and then all of a sudden Nebraska would just have a first. I meant Northwestern would just score. Their defense was getting so close, and I think that's a week 0 problem. Like, I think their defense is bad. Don't get me wrong. But I think those kind of problems like that, almost finishing drives, almost stopping drives, are part of a fatigue and a discipline issue as far as week 0 goes. And let's say this was week 8. I think Nebraska probably winds up pulling this one out. But I think the inexperience on defense and the not really charisma of playing together much on offense winded up hurting them in the end.
Yeah, I would expect a ton of improvement from this game. So that's why, again, I'm not like totally out on Nebraska. I still don't think they reach what was it, 7.5 wins?
Yeah, there's no way. Especially not now. I don't think there's any way.
You can't, like, these games, like, you have to win. These are conference games. You have to pull these out, and they didn't. So it's definitely going to hurt them. It does kind of suck that they had to play such an eventful game week 1, but
week 0 in Ireland, that's what bothers me, because let's just say this game comes down to bite them. Like, they finished 5-7, and they could have had them at home in Nebraska, and they played them in Ireland. Why did we play a conference game in Ireland?
Who is in charge of scheduling?
Who cares about football in Ireland? Not this type of football.
Not this one, yeah. They care about the widget football. Yeah.
But, like, my thing is, if you're Nebraska, you've got to win 8 games, I think, this year. Or as a program, I think you need to win 8 games. For the state of the program that you're in right now and the talent that you have, I think you should be an 8-win team. Losing to a Northwestern, they're not going to get to that 7.5 mark. There's no way now, I don't think. And playing in the Big Ten, their schedule's not insane because they're not on the same side as Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan State. That's crazy they're on the same side. Anyway, and Iowa and Wisconsin. But no, Wisconsin's on Nebraska's side. But Nebraska, you don't play a ton of great teams, but you'd love to get a win out of a Northwestern when I mean, there's going to be bigger challenges than Northwestern. I'm not going to slander them because I think they're better than I expected. Their offense is a lot better than I expected, but I still think Northwestern's a 5 or 6 win team.
Yeah, I mean Northwestern, it comes down because that the way they ran the ball was just like, I don't know if it was they know how to run or if Nebraska just can't stop anything on defense. But I want to say, let me double check. I think they had 2 100-yard rushers, Evan Hull and Cam Porter. And I don't know, there was times, like, here's what gives me some worry. I'm going to pull up a specific play I remember when I saw it, I was just in shock. It was late in the game, late in the fourth quarter. Sorry, I'm going to the play because it was, yeah, this drive right here. Northwestern had 5 minutes left. They're up 3 at this point. It's 31-28 at this point. They get it to 3rd and 2. And Evan Hull busts one for 21 yards. As Nebraska, how do you let that happen? You know they're running the ball. It's 3rd and 2.
That's what I was saying.
Killing you on the ground the whole game.
That's what I was trying. That was my point about the defense. They were so close so many times.
Get on the regard the running back, whether it's out the backfield, give him the ball, guard him.
And the coaches can't play for the players, but you got to think that I don't want to blame the coaches because the coaches get blamed for losses, but they don't get praised for wins. But you've got to at least sell out on that. I'm blitzing on 3rd and 22.
No, I'm blitzing too.
If they get me over the top, so be it.
They hadn't hit them over the top, not much at all the whole game. They did have a 41-yard touchdown, but like it's a 3-point game. What reason do they have to air it out on 3rd and 2 with 5 minutes left? The clock is steady going. No reason. Just keep it running. And because it hadn't failed them all game anyway.
Yeah, I know. Nebraska, I think it's going to turn into a dumpster fire before it turns good again. I mean, I don't want to wish that on no program, but I don't like where they're going. I think they're just going to have to – I think it's time for a change. Moving on to our other games, that was probably the biggest game of the weekend. It was the best game of the weekend. We'll just run over them. My conference champion, Western Kentucky, defeated Austin Peay 38-27 behind a great quarterback performance. Western Kentucky, they struggled, but that's part of it when you open up the season.
I'd say they struggled. Same thing with Nebraska. They struggled more on defense. They moved the ball really nice.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Austin Peay scoring 27 points can't really happen. But I'm not going to – they won the game, so I'm not going to harp on it.
All offenses are going to be ahead in week 1 besides turnovers. If they don't turn the ball over, they'll be ahead week 1.
And that is true. Western Kentucky had some how many did the Austin Peay quarterback go? Like 2 or 3 picks?
I'm not real sure.
I think they fumbled it once or twice as well. So they forced some turnovers, which you like to see.
That's right. UNLV took on an Idaho State team that's probably not very good, but put up 52 points and won 52-21.
And I think 45 of that was if I'm not mistaken, that 45 was in the first half. Or am I?
Yes, 45 was in the first half. That's pretty impressive to me.
Impressive. They
Uh,
pulled the starters and the backups did absolutely nothing.
Did you see their turnover slot machine?
I didn't know.
Bro, they went over there. 11 guys pulled the slot machine and celebrated after it landed on 3 UNLVs. I mean, it did the first time. I guess they had it hooked
It's
up to do that.
definitely programmed like that, but
Well, if it's not, that's the win of the year.
no, it definitely is programmed.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Like
Next, your conference champion, the Utah State Aggies, defeated UConn 31-20. 31-20, 11 points on the worst team in America.
Okay, don't call them that. We know they're not okay. They're not the worst team. I'm not gonna try to give Utah State any credit though. They played poor. I'm not gonna say they played terrible though. UConn ran the ball the whole game. The clock's gonna. I mean, any UConn game where they run the ball like that, and it was working. I'm not gonna say it wasn't working, but they ran all over Utah State, which is scary. Good thing about the Mountain West, I don't feel like there's many teams in that conference who run the ball that good, besides like Wyoming, and we saw how Boise State too, probably. Yeah, but I mean, no, I am concerned about Utah State. But again, like we said with the defense, it'll get better as as the season progresses, they get more cohesive.
Right. And I mean it's week 1. But what worries me is they scored 24 of those points in one quarter, and that was it basically.
Yeah.
That worries me a little bit. But I mean, Utah State's going to be there in the end. They always seem to be. As not so much but in recent history they've been there. Shout out to UConn's quarterback, tore his ACL. What's his name?
Taquan Roberson, I believe.
We well wishes to him. Next we had the Illinois. Wyoming traveled to Illinois and got blew out. Kind of surprised me how bad Illinois beat them.
Surprised me too. If you go back and look at the episode again, I wanted to pick Wyoming because I actually like Wyoming's like style of football, real defensive. But I feel like I had a perfect analysis on this game. I said, grading coverage can't stop the run, and then we'll get into it a little later. And there was a guy who ran all over Wyoming.
We can get into it right now. We got the time. Go ahead, get into it.
Chase Brown, Illinois running back. Guy's solid. He's not the best running back in college football, but he's solid. Illinois pound the rock. That's the Big Ten style of play. Ran for 151 yards and 2 TDs. Also caught one out the backfield. He beat Wyoming by himself.
He definitely, he did.
So,
they scored 6 points.
He could have beat Wyoming. I think he ran one in on like the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't catch the Wyoming Illinois game, but I did keep up with it, and it surprised me. I think we'll see a lot from Illinois when they play. I know Indiana's not great. I don't expect them to be very good. I went under on the 4, I think, or even on the 4. So I don't think they're very good, but I think it'd be interesting to see how Illinois handles Indiana. And if they beat them, I think Illinois may have a better year than I expected, which I think it's kind of going in that way. I think they're getting better every year.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, they had a decent year last year.
They weren't terrible. They weren't anything good, but they were better than the year before because I want to say they won like 2 or 3 the year before. And I want to say they won like 5 or 6. Like 5.
Last year they won 5 games. I could see them sneaking into a bowl game this year. I think that would be.
Or even 4 though for them?
No, I went even 4 on Indiana.
Oh, okay.
I think I may have went under on Illinois.
What was Illinois? Like probably like 5, 5.5?
I think they may have been 6. I'm not sure though. I don't know. I can't recall. But I was impressed with the performance in the run game. I think it'll be something to watch for the next few weeks. I know nobody loves to watch Illinois probably, but it'll be something to watch with them. And if they can beat Indiana, I think they kind of get over a Big Ten hump there, maybe. Which last year they beat some Big Ten teams. So moving on, Florida State, not necessarily surprised people, but they scored some points and their offense looked better than it has. They didn't like last year. They lost to Jacksonville State. I mean, they beat Duquesne 47-7. Shout out to Duquesne for covering the over under, which was 42. But Jordan Travis went 11 for 15 with 207 yards. He didn't have a touchdown.
Dad's work. Meet daughter's playtime.
Wait till you hear this.
Thankfully, MetaPortal.
Could you hear that?
Yes.
Okay, that was my college football scoreboard. Sorry, everyone.
Good. Anyways,
Jordan Travis didn't have a touchdown, but they ran all over him. So
he did. Why do you keep? He had a rushing touchdown.
quarterbacks don't show up on passing. Their rushing touchdowns don't show up.
Sorry. Okay. No, I mean Florida State. That was pretty straightforward. Duquesne. I don't know the last time I didn't even know they had a football program.
I didn't either. I'm gonna be honest.
The Dukes, but
pretty basic name though. The Duquesne Dukes. I mean, you couldn't have
I
found.
like the simplicity though. I like it.
I mean, it's like the Nationals naming their stadium after their team, but whatever.
Whatever.
You would like simplicity up there.
Illinois. Illinois' over under was 4.5 wins.
Did I go under?
I don't know how to check yours.
Did I go hashtag?
It's not. You didn't do them at all.
Oh, that's because I predicted them in the. I didn't want to do them on there because I was unsure.
Yeah. We can go back and watch after. I feel like you probably went under though.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Illinois.
I feel like I did too though. I don't like it. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't like Illinois.
You don't like Illinois?
I don't like their schedule for them as a team.
I could see that. That makes sense. Next, we had a disappointing game for me. It kind of hurt me. Not watching this, but looking at the scores. My Charlotte 49ers were defeated by 30 points, 43-13 against FAU, who I picked Charlotte in that game.
Yeah, I picked the other side. FAU. I didn't think it would be 30 points though, but FAU just kind of got out on them and never slowed down.
And now I know my Charlotte pick's gonna be wrong now because if they're losing to FAU by 30, they're gonna be losing to everybody.
If it makes you feel better, wait, what were they projected for? Like 5.5? Like
yes, and I went over. I don't think they win 5 games now, but
oh no, they were 4.5. Okay, they were 4.5.
Charlotte,
Yep.
they may get over that. FAU, I think, is gonna be a lot better than people expect. Like me, I think FAU, their offense is really good. I like N'Kosi Perry. I think he was very good. For FAU, I don't think he would be good great at a Power 5, but at a Group of 5, I don't mind it.
Yeah, he's smart with the football. He doesn't make too many turnovers. Really underrated passer too.
He is an underrated passer.
They ran all over Charlotte, but like when they need to throw the ball, I mean, he can set them up. That's
right. North Carolina took on the Rattlers from Florida A&M, and they won 56-24. But we're giving up 24 points to FAMU.
Who was missing 20 players.
20 players. That raises concern for me. You can't ever be mad about a 56-24 win, but I'm concerned about North Carolina.
I'm not. I think how many of those points were scored in like the second half for Florida A&M?
10. They scored 14 in the first half.
Mm.
North Carolina had to keep It was 35-24 in the third quarter. They did not take the starters out.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that. I mean, I'm still not concerned really at all, but good win, North Carolina, I guess.
Yeah. What's the quarterback's name? Drake May. Is that his name?
Drake May, yeah,
Drake May.
May's brother.
294, 5 touchdowns. I mean, impressive. Let's see what he can do against App State. Maybe the Tar Heels are on upset alert this week.
Definitely, no, I like App State. I think in the predictions I said App State would win, or they
Yeah,
could.
I think we may have.
I think we did. No, I think we both said App State probably wins though.
Yeah, I think we did because it's at App State. That's a tricky game.
We'll get into it again. We'll run it back next
Well,
episode.
Nevada goes to New Mexico State. I did watch some of this game. Nevada had to score or kick a field goal late. New Mexico State was pushing to get one final drive to try to tie this game. And Nevada kicked the field goal, made it 23-12 the final. Nevada, what you doing?
How many? Can you tell me how many yards they threw for Nevada? Now this is Nevada. We know them as Air Raid, Carson Strong, Romeo Dubs, just killing through the air. How many yards did they throw for between the two? I know they had two quarterbacks.
The top passer threw for 143 yards with one touchdown.
That was Nevada.
Nevada's no, excuse me, that's New Mexico State's quarterback. Hang on.
I need you to see this for yourself because
Okay, yeah, I need to see this for
it's
myself.
quite shocking.
Nevada, oh my,
Between the two, how many did they throw for?
78 yards.
And this is
What are we
Air Raid
doing?
offense.
What are we doing? How much did he rush? How much did we rush for there?
A good amount. I'm not gonna lie. They did run for a good amount.
Maybe that was the game plan. I sure hope it was the game.
I would hope so. It's New Mexico State. They probably couldn't stop like a
They
D3
couldn't stop
school.
water from coming out the faucet. What?
They probably couldn't. New Mexico State probably couldn't stop a D3 school.
I'm not gonna lie. Let me look at. Hang on. I don't know that New Mexico State wins the game.
That's concerning for Nevada. Because if I'm mistaken, did you not have Nevada going over?
I did. But maybe it's just a week 0 skit. I don't know. But I tell you what, I'm looking forward to is the New Mexico State and UMass game. That may be the best battle of the worst we've ever seen.
I got UMass by probably like 20.
By 20?
UMass will beat them by more than what Nevada did.
So what you're saying is you're more concerned about Nevada rather than New Mexico State being better than you thought they were.
Yeah. New Mexico State scored 12 points.
Hey, they had a safety though. Great defense.
I don't care. No.
Bro, the score was 7-2 at one point.
Yeah, that's like I probably would have fallen asleep. Luckily,
Yes.
I was already asleep by the time the game was going, so
It was the most boring game of the weekend.
that.
Next,
Sorry,
we had another. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I don't even want to apologize. Go ahead.
Don't apologize. Next, I'm going to apologize to all the Mean Green fans out there because you proved me wrong. I read lots of articles that North Texas was going to be good this year, and I denied it. I didn't want to believe it. And now, I mean, they put it on UTEP. I picked UTEP. Final was 31-13. Not even close. Not even that close, really.
And
It was a blowout.
I picked North Texas because I know they got some guys over there. Like not just last year, they had Jalen Darden who was like doing some crazy. Did he not lead in like touchdowns? He led in some like category. I want to say he was up there for like Heisman voting as well, but he was insane. But they still have like that core foundation around him who is very good. They got a super solid quarterback, dual threat. They know how to run the ball as well. Defense showed up and good enough for week 0. And I like UTEP. I think UTEP will be decent. But But yeah, North Texas. I'm surprised a little bit at how well they played.
Me too. And now it's time to embarrass you. Vanderbilt, the Commodores, anchor down, baby, 63-10. I don't know the specific stats, but I bet it's been 10 to 15 years since Vanderbilt scored 63 points.
I wouldn't
And they
be
did it on your Rainbow Warriors.
Don't call them mine. All right. I thought they would win this one game. I'm pretty sure I picked them to go under.
You did under 3 wins, I think, or 2
Yeah.
wins.
So they really shout out to the Rainbow Warriors. Y'all helping my predictions. Not for the pick 'em.
Not your Vanderbilt prediction, though.
I had them going under 2.
Under
Well,
2.5.
No, this will probably be the only game they win.
I agree. The offense did show some promise, though, that we haven't seen from
They
Vanderbilt.
did. Yeah. I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that they scored 63 or they held them to 10.
They're both very impressive.
Well,
For
okay,
Vanderbilt.
with a grain of salt because it's Hawaii still.
Right.
We have to take that into account.
Right. It is. They're still not going to compete in the SEC. They're not going to win an SEC game. They're not going to beat Tennessee.
Okay. Do they play Missouri at all?
Yes, they have to. They're in the same side.
They could beat Missouri.
They can't beat Missouri, man.
If
You're
they play look, if they played like how they did week 0, it'll be a game.
If Missouri played Hawaii, it'd probably be 70-10.
No.
Hawaii, I warned you. I told you Hawaii was one of the worst teams in America, and you denied it.
They're barely even in America.
Okay, well they still are. And you know what they are? They're still one of the worst teams.
They are.
Why don't we have a team in Alaska? That would be cool.
Yeah. Wait, how does Hawaii get one and no Alaska? No
That's
Anchorage?
what I'm saying. I guess because of snow or something. I don't really
The
know.
Anchorage Penguins? Like, that wouldn't be a nice little team.
The Penguin?
Is there even a college in Alaska?
There's got to be a college in Juneau, whatever it is.
All right. Somebody got to get something going out there. I'll join a team if I have to.
Hey, I'll play quarterback.
I'll move. I'll go to college. I'll transfer to Alaska University.
Let's get it going. Alaska U. All right. So now we're going to move into the next segment, top performer of the week. Get it going.
So I already alluded to him earlier. Chase Brown from Illinois is my pick. I kind of went over the stats. 151 yards, 2 TDs on the ground, and he had a touchdown receiving as well. Led Illinois to, I think, a good morale boost. Not only did they beat Wyoming, but they blew them out. So I think this could set something up for the future, not just this 1 week.
I could see that. So Chase Brown for you. I went with Vanderbilt's own Mike Wright because it's hard not to in a week like this. Shout out to Ryan Halitsky. He had a great game as well.
Yep.
Mike Wright went passing. He went 13 of 21 for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns with a QBR of 151. Not bad.
No.
He rushed for 13 attempts, 163 yards, 2 touchdowns. Maybe this is something they're trying to implement, a run game. Maybe they feel like they could maybe sneak some games if they milk the clock and run some read stuff. I don't mind it while you're as bad as you are right now and trying to build a program. I like Mike Wright. Did I call him Mike White?
He's Mike Wright. You said right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Mike Wright, great performance. Can he do it again? Probably not. But good job this week. I think something we need to talk about before we move into other sports is Northwestern. Let's give them a little bit of love because all we did was talk about how bad Nebraska was and how much of a dumpster fire they have. We didn't give Ryan Halitsky any love. We did talk about their Russian attack, but we didn't give Hull much love. And I think we need to go over Halitsky's stats and just go through some of that for just about 5 minutes.
Okay. I mean, Yeah, I mean Northwestern. To be fair, I will give them some props. They got the stops on defense when they needed to, which against some of those guys on the Nebraska offense aren't like they're no slouch.
Right.
Casey Thompson, the transfer from Texas, took over the starting job over who was it? Hudson Card
Yeah.
took over the starting job there, which I mean, not saying that's not much. I'm not saying Hudson Card is like C.J. Stroud or whatever,
Right.
but he did it. And he looked decent at Texas at least. Led him to some wins. And I mean, he looked decent for majority of this game. Like I said, I'm not gonna get caught up on Nebraska again, but Northwestern they got the stops when they needed to. They played to Nebraska's weakness, ran all over them when they needed to pass. They had to pass too. If they can keep this up, they would shock me. They would definitely come and be like, I'm not again. I don't think they win the Big Ten by any means. I don't think they even come close, but they definitely would beat their own expectations. I would say.
Probably. Ryan Halinsky really surprised me. He went 27 of 38 for 314 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. He's been through a lot in his career, and he's won some starting jobs, lost some starting jobs. He's at Northwestern now. He put on a show in week 0. He was the highlight of the week. His team was the highlight of the week. Good for him. Evan Hull went 22 carries, 119 yards with a touchdown. Porter finished at 94 yards. Sorry.
Okay.
But Hull went over 100, and he also received for 55 yards.
Yep.
And Malik Washington went for 97 yards. So, I mean, it was a good game all around by Northwestern. The difference was getting a few stops when Nebraska didn't.
Yep. Nebraska couldn't stop anything.
No. Whew. That defense is bad, but Northwestern's offense played good, and they won the game. So, good for them. Maybe they can have a good season. I guess we'll move on into the U.S. Open.
Yep. So U.S. Open starting today. Not really much to touch on. I mean, obviously it's a tennis major, so we kind of have to speak about it. More notably, Serena Williams, possible. I think she already confirmed last tournament before her retirement. So
Last
yeah,
round.
it's like kind of heartfelt, heartwarming. She plays tonight. As we're recording this, it's the 29th of August. Tonight at 7. So if you're at the house, nothing else is on, tune in.
Turn on Serena. This
Let's
may
just
be it.
take it one more time. I would love to see her, make a run in it. I don't expect her to win it. Just because just being out a sport like tennis, you have to be like in there. Like you have to
Has
be
she been out for a while?
So she did some warm-up tournaments. I think she did two little warm-up tournaments before. And she actually won. I want to say the first one she won like 2 or 3 matches before she lost in like the semifinals or whatever. So she's definitely like probably not to her like best fitness, but better than she was. So I don't expect her to go too deep. But I don't expect her to lose in the first round or so.
I think all these moments in sports are what make it, and I think that you're gonna have one last run. Kobe's last game, 60 points. Jeter walk-off hit in his last game. There's a lot of moments in history that just match up perfect. So I think she has a run.
And I like her ending it off with the U.S. Open too,
Right.
where it all started at. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I'm gonna have someone fact check me. I think the first tournament she won was the U.S. Open, or that might have been her debut with Venus. But
Yeah, I'll fact check you.
yeah, because I just think it's like, ending it in your home country, you're going to have all the crowd support. Smart decision by Serena. But I mean, again, it's her. She's going to have a ton of crowd support wherever she goes just because she's iconic. I think that's really all I have now, at least on that. Nothing else really in the U.S. Open to talk about. We're not like huge on the tennis spectrum.
No, Serena won her first tournament, and it was U.S. Open in 1999. So it would be amazing to watch her win one in 2022. So I'm pulling for her. I hope she wins it. She's my pick.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go all in.
Serena bandwagon.
Serena bandwagon. Hey, I've seen the U.S. Open Stadium. It's in New York, right?
Yeah, it's in Flushing Gardens, I think.
Yep, it's right beside the Met Stadium. Yeah, huh?
Is it Flushing Gardens or Flushing Meadows?
It's Flushing.
Just Flushing?
Yeah, it's just Flushing.
No. I wouldn't just think of that. And
it's called Flushing, New York.
No, the city is, but I'm talking about the stadium.
Oh, I'm not sure what it's called. I thought it was named after like Joe.
Oh, Flushing Meadows. Okay. Wait. Okay. It's a park?
It's a weird place. I've seen the stadium's huge, but
yeah, look, Flushing Meadows U.S. Open. I knew I wasn't crazy.
What's the name of the stadium? It's like Louis something.
It's Billie Jean King. Wait.
No, that's not. I will remember that.
Oh, no, I got it. U.S. Open. I got it. I mean, there's multiple like courts. Are you talking about that?
It's like a big old dome looking thing. I've seen it. I went by it.
It's Arthur Ashe Stadium.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that name. But so we'll move on into the NBA talk. Kevin Durant, he's staying in Brooklyn Net. They're not firing the coach. They came to an agreement. Look, at the end of the day, he signed the contract. He's got to deal with it. If they don't want to trade him, they can't trade him. Kind of on him, you know. So,
yeah, I think, for the sake of Kevin Durant, I don't really know what he's doing here. Like, if you're gonna make all this controversy, make something happen. You know, you're the star. You have all the power. Everybody wants you one way or another. Teams are like, if I told you you didn't have to give anything up to get Kevin Durant, all 30 teams would take Kevin Durant easily, without a blink of an eye. But obviously, that's not how the NBA works. But still, he has all this power over the management, and he couldn't get what he wanted in the end, at least.
I think in the end, it was kind of weird how it all happened because it escalated so much, and then it was just like agreement. But I think next season, if nothing happened, if they're not good next season, you see a blow up.
I mean, I would hope so.
They have a mess up there. They can't win with those guys, and I think they did. I mean, I can't say anything for them. I don't know what happened in this process, what they gave KD, what they told KD, what they told him they were going to trade for, who. But they did something to calm him down. We hadn't seen it yet. We don't know what it is.
I don't know what it could have been, too, because it seemed he was ready to go, like, instantly. But I think this is honestly a win for Brooklyn. The fact that you were able to keep KD around, And obviously, we know the roster, the potential, the talent is there with Kyrie and KD. We knew he wanted to stay. KD wanted out. If there's a way they can fix the controversy and turn it into something positive, the team we know, it could be like this is a playoff team every year.
No doubt.
Even a finals contender if they can get the head screwed on straight.
Right. And I think it seems to be more of a personnel problem than a talent problem. The talent's there, but I'd like to see what happens. Maybe they told him they were going to trade for a frontline star. I mean, it's got to be something. There's
I don't
something.
know what they would trade to get that. They don't have any picks.
Yeah.
They have any other talent outside of Kyrie and KD, unless they plan on trading Kyrie.
Yeah. What's going to happen with Kyrie? That's another thing. It seems like they're babysitting KD, but they're not willing to babysit Kyrie. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's the problem with this. There's two guys, two very controversial, or I don't want to say controversial.
Drama guys.
Who have a lot of pull also. So you've got to, if you can't please one, you have to please another.
Right.
And I think Kyrie kind of accepts what it is now. And he understands with what KD does. Like if Kyrie wanted to leave, KD would definitely be out.
Right.
KD wants to win a championship.
Yeah. I think you've seen the end of the Kyrie trade. What's the word?
Rumors?
Rumors, yeah, sorry. The trade rumors with what we're moving into, the Pat Bev trade for the Lakers, because I feel like the Lakers were a front runner for Kyrie, and then all of a sudden they traded for Pat Bev, so I feel like that shut that down.
Mm-hmm. So
you can jump into that
trade. So the Lakers sent Talen Horton-Tucker and Stanley Johnson to Utah in exchange for Patrick Beverley. No picks. That's just the deal straight up. And do you think the Lakers won this trade? Regarding
borrowing any drama, yes.
I agree.
But if there's something going on between Pat Bev or Westbrook, and I think Westbrook's going to be gone, so I think they wind up winning this trade. Yeah, great defender.
Talen Horton-Tucker was a project. Lakers fans, you have the one side who's like, oh yeah, he'll blossom into a star, or the Lakers fans who are just totally out. That's kind of like with any young guy coming to the Lakers. Like it was the same thing with Lonzo Ball, same thing with Kyle Kuzma. Now you see what he's turning into. Solid NBA player. Same thing with Lonzo Ball. Very solid. Same thing with Brandon Ingram, a potential star. So they got rid of him, and then Stanley Johnson was kind of just like a fill-in. I feel like he wasn't much of value. I think the Lakers also do win this trade. Obviously they're trying to contend. They don't have much time left. Obviously LeBron did agree to the extension. I think it was 2 years, like close to $100 million.
Yeah, I think Well, go ahead and tell them about the deal, and then I'll go.
So they've got about. I'm not sure how many years are left on LeBron's deal. It might be 3. And then Anthony Davis is still there. He's not getting any younger or healthier. But I think overall for the now, good trade for the Lakers.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are a project themselves as far as staying healthy. Yeah. I really hope AD can stay healthy because I like him. I think he's like quiet, not spoken much. I mean, and I think he can do a lot for him and kind of be a leader along with LeBron for that team if he can stay healthy. And we've seen it. I mean, he's one of the most talented basketball players in the world when he's healthy.
Yep.
So I feel like the Lakers will be fine. I honestly did not know Pat Bev was at the Jazz or was with the Jazz.
Yeah, he was in the Rudy Gobert deal.
Gotcha. Yeah, I knew that the T-Wolves wanted him out of there because did you hear what Cat said about that?
What? No, I don't. What happened?
He said once I saw him stand on the table after winning a play-in game. Have you ever seen that video?
No, I've seen the video of Patrick Beverly, but I hadn't seen the video of Cat.
I don't know if they have an interview, but he said this, and they said he said after seeing him stand on the stadium, I knew we wanted his butt out of here.
What? Okay, I'm not gonna. So I mean, this is old news. Apparently, I don't really care. But why? He's happy that you guys won, that you're making the playoffs for the first time in I don't know how long.
Well, he took his jersey off and waved it, standing on the score table for a playing game. People like
Here's the
Cat
thing.
want to win titles.
Yeah, I mean, Pat Bev wants to win a title. Why do you think? Whenever he was on the Clippers, he wanted to win a title. Whenever he was on, what team was he on before the Timberwolves? I wish I knew.
Huh?
I wish I had it off the top. Pat Bev is old. He wants to win a title as well. I'm not saying what he did was justifiable because it was just a play-in. But I'm sorry, it was the Clippers before Minnesota. Okay.
He played in Houston before the Clippers.
He did, which they weren't winning anything, not with Harden. But
Shots at Harden, right? Really?
I mean, he's not a playoff contender guy. Or I mean, okay, he's not a finals contender.
I agree to that.
That's just kind of my thing with him. Is that I think that wraps it up for all the NBA news. Oh, I mean, and then Chet Holmgren, season-ending injury. Suffered it in the Pro-Am game on the I'm sure everybody's seen it. The LeBron was driving at him for a layup, and then Chet it seemed like he rolled his ankle, which turned into some sort of foot ligament injury, and now he's done for the year. So unfortunate news for him and the Thunder. I was excited to watch the Thunder. Shea and Chet. I was excited, but
and I think this will help him. I think he needed an extra year of strength training before he was ready. So I think in the end, what?
He's going to be hurt though. What is he going to be training?
When he's coming back, he's working out every day. And I think in the end, this is going to be a blessing in disguise for him because I think he winds up having a Rookie of the Year type season next year.
I would hope so. I mean, I think Chet has a lot of potential. He's one of those unicorn guys, which you never really see pan out beside a Giannis.
Right.
I mean, Porzingis is one that comes to mind. He wasn't this small out of Latvia or wherever he came from. He didn't pan out to the potential we thought it would. I don't know. I just feel like these super tall, skinny guys, they're too frail for the NBA. The NBA is too strong.
Right. It's kind of like tall guys in the NFL. They struggle too because they're not physical enough.
Yeah, you got to be. If you're coming with the height, you got to have the structure too.
I do think today's NBA is better for the tall guy as far as keeping them healthy. because there's not as much knockdown, drag out basketball anymore. It's more how many points can I score?
Yeah, it's not as physical. It's not as stop this guy from scoring. It's more so let me score more. So
Yeah. So that's gonna wrap up the NBA talk. Blessings to Chet Holmgren. Pray he comes back better than ever. MLB is getting crunch time.
even more crunch time than it already has been.
It is.
You want to take it away? Is there anything meaningful?
The divisions are getting tight. Well, not really. Some are getting. I don't know if anyone saw my Twitter, but I was posting about the NL Central. The NL Central's over.
Is it?
The Cardinals have ran away with the NL Central. I think it's 7.5 games, 6.5 maybe. The Brewers are done. The Mets are up 3 games on the Braves. This will be fun to watch this week because the Braves get the Rockies Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the Dodgers and Mets play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we could potentially see 2 sweeps in a tied division by by Friday.
You could.
I
see
could go
my
ahead.
hot take Giants are they're not doing it for me. They're 7.5 back of the wild card, so that prediction looks to be dead.
Yeah. I think this is the problem we're running into with that extra wild card because you have the Brewers who are playing awful, the Padres who are playing awful, and the Giants that are playing awful, and the Phillies that aren't playing great, all competing for playoff spots.
Right. I wouldn't say the Giants are really competing. They're done.
Yeah.
San Fran is done.
I don't know that the Brewers are even competing, are they? Are they, Nick?
They're only a game and a half back.
Oh, really? Okay. That makes me feel better. The
So
Padres?
it's competitive between the Padres, Phillies, and Brewers. It is like there's like a 4-game spread there between all 3.
2 have to make it there. So I'm going to say this.
Phillies are basically in. I would say between the Padres and Brewers for that last one.
Oh yeah, not 2 of the yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this prediction now. I didn't make it earlier. The Brewers will catch the Padres. The Padres are awful right now.
Really?
We said it before. We said it again. I'll say it again. The Padres lineup without Tatis and Soto's been on and off the lineup card. They're bad. Josh Hader, his ERA with the Padres is 25.
Oh. And how many appearances is that?
That's like 6. He's thrown 4 2/3, and he's given up like 20 runs. It's awful. He gave up 6 in a third of an inning yesterday. They lost to the Royals 15-6. They're at a season low. I mean, they won't fit. If you ask me right now, unless something changes in that clubhouse, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you they were struggling before, but Tatis broke them. Like I predicted, Tatis broke them. If they can't turn this around within the next week, the Giants will catch them in the division. They won't make the playoffs, but the Giants will finish second in the division. The Padres will finish third. Maybe even worse than that. I don't know.
It could happen.
How many games back are the Diamondbacks of the Padres?
A good number.
Okay.
They're 11.
Okay, yeah. I could see them get up to only 3 games on the Diamondbacks.
Well, okay, so the Giants are 8.5 back of the Padres.
I don't care.
Dude, there's only like 30 games left. I don't care.
This Padres got 2 taken out of 3 by the Royals.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at the AL. The Blue Jays could slip. They've been bad.
They did get beat by the Angels this weekend.
Could take them over.
Who?
The Orioles, I think, could take them over.
I hope it happens.
It's real close. It's a game and a half difference.
Wow.
So we might have to. I mean, and even the Twins. The Twins are only 3 games back. Like the Blue Jays are letting the wild card just go. The AL wild card is a lot closer than I would say the NL.
The
There's
AL wild card is what they hoped for when they made the extra team. The NL
Yeah.
wild card is the nightmare that they didn't hope for.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, well, to be fair, the AL wild card. It's not like teams are playing better. It's just the Blue Jays are letting it slip, and then you have the Rays and Mariners who aren't way out ahead.
Yeah,
And then obviously you have the Astros, Yankees who aren't close. The Guardians, the AL Central is super close. There's 3 teams still who I think could win it. Like the Guardians look to have it kind of secured, but the Twins just won 3 in a row.
right.
And the
The
White Sox
Orioles-
hadn't lost 4, they would be right there too.
Yeah, the White Sox are done to me, but the Orioles, to me, they won 2 out of 3 against the Astros this weekend.
I know Kyle Bradish, that could have been your performer of the week.
He could
What is
have
it? 8 innings, gave
8
up like 2 hits.
2 hits. He showed out. He balled out.
Yeah.
Good for him. Good for the Orioles. I mean, if you'd have told me that the Orioles were a game and a half out of the playoffs during August, the end of August, I'd have slapped you and told you to get out of my face, you idiot. But, I mean, give me all of the O train. I'm on the O train.
I still got to make it to Camden Yards at some point.
You do, bro. Come on.
Let's see.
You better
let's
go while you
see.
can because the playoffs are going to be hot.
Oh, I could get some cheap tickets. They played the A's.
Oh, yeah, you can go to that one.
Oh, never mind. That's a weekend. Never mind. I could see them play Toronto. That'd be a good series, you know.
That could
Monday.
indicate who's the playoff spot.
September 5th, they got a doubleheader.
And that's gas. You can go to the first one at least.
I might start at 1:05. I might have to make it. We might have to cancel the podcast. I'm just kidding.
We can get Bragg live from Camden Yards.
live from Camden. Or I could see him play Boston.
Boston's kind of done.
Yeah, I'd rather see Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see the end of the year MLB race. But that's gonna. Oh, we're not talking about NBA anymore, like the bottom line says. So sorry about that.
It's okay.
But I did want to recap one more thing before we get off of here. We have to run through our college football picks from the past week and let everybody know how the first week 0 went.
What do you mean?
Like we have to go through our record. Like we picked 12 games.
Go ahead.
Okay. Wait for the load. Okay, we chose. We picked 12 games, and we've went over the games already. We both tied at 9-3. Both had 3 losses apiece, and most of them weren't pretty. Nebraska was the common loss. My thing. Do you have? Oh, there we go. Nebraska was the common loss, and then I lost to Charlotte and UTEP.
I only had 2.
Are you sure about that?
I only had 2 losses because Nebraska lost and
I see that now.
dude's
So
messing the record up, bro.
I messed Darren's record up. Darren is leading the first week, 10-2. I'm 9-3,
Of course I am.
and
What just happened? Are you back?
yeah, my thing lagged out of here or something.
Welcome back.
Okay, so I finished at 9-3. Disappointing week for me because I was all in on being being tied. So I
That's
just realized that I wasn't. So I'm kind of sad about that. But I mean, if we're gonna give out most embarrassing loss, Darren lost. So
yeah, no, I'll take it. But I'll take the 10-2 record. It looks better on my sheet anyway.
it does. But once we get going with the big time picks,
You think you got it?
I think I got it.
Okay,
And
we'll see.
and do you have the screenshot? Let's go ahead and show them what's on the line.
I got the screenshot.
This is a bet we made between each other.
Wait, you were being serious about that? I didn't think you was.
Oh, I'm being
Well,
serious.
Here's basically the screenshot. I'll just.
Darren said he'd make 75% of picks right, and I said if you do that, I'll buy you an NBA Finals ticket.
Y'all
So
heard it first. I'm above 75% right now. What is 10 divided by 12? 83%. If I keep this same rate,
if you keep a 10-2 rate, I swear I will buy you a ticket.
y'all gonna see me in the NBA Finals, maybe a Warriors jersey or something. I don't know.
No, I'll buy it. No, but I made it. But we'll see what happens.
Dude said I swear. So
I
y'all
did say it. I'm agreeing.
when I end the year 80%, when I end the year 80% strong.
That's gonna wrap everything up for this episode of our weekly recap. Wednesday is another big episode. We're gonna make our picks for this week, this college football week, and that's gonna be what the main. It's gonna be another college football kind of preview week with nothing really going on. We'll have some MLB stuff too, but and we'll go over some U.S. Open stuff because we'll know a lot by then.
Yep.
But it's going to be a major college football prediction and breakdown of some of the bigger games as Oregon and Georgia and Notre Dame and Ohio State, some of those games. So we're excited about that. Tune back in. Follow us on social media, Out of Bounds Pods with an S at the end. Don't forget the S. Instagram, Twitter, and newly coming out, a TikTok coming out today. So get on that, follow, subscribe to the YouTube because it helps us and we can make better videos if you subscribe. So thank you for joining the live stream and I'll see you later.